So, we'll start with Andrew. What do you keep right now in your current collection?
Wow, that's a loaded question right there. As you see,
we'll keep the legal animals on the show.
Oh no.
Know about the rest.
No, all legal, man. We're all legal.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how can we set an example if we're keeping illegal animals ourselves? So,
This is very true.
As you can see, this is my ballarium here. Just going to show you a quick little. I'd say
Stuff going on.
Yeah, at this point, my wife left one of the boxes open, which is fantastic. I've got.
We're setting examples, people.
I know. Good job. No, I'd say I got a mixture of things. My collection is getting more diversified as Danny would like it to become more diversified. I've got some ball pythons. I've got a couple rat snakes, which I'm personally fond of. I like the rat snakes.
What kind?
I've got an Everglades rat, a leucistic rat, king rat, Trans-Pecos rat,
Rhino rat.
Really?
Who
Those
went after me
are
today,
sexy
jerk off?
snakes.
What? You lie.
I do not lie.
How did it go after you? Did it chase after you, Mamba style? What did it do?
No, as I was opening the cage to take a couple pictures and to feed it, it was just lunging at me like crazy.
To feed it, did you have a thawed pinky within its vicinity?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. Well, I told you
I know what I'm doing!
They eat, man. They eat well. That's what they do.
I know they do.
They mistake you for food in the process.
Yeah.
You just gotta deal with it because that's a gorgeous animal.
Coming to you. You get some offspring from those rhino rats. Coming to you.
Yeah, Andy. You should get some.
You need a 1.2 or a 1.3. No questions asked.
Well, right now I've got a 1.0, so you're going to have to give me a little bit of time on that one.
Well, if you're in the market for a female, maybe I can search some contacts.
All right. So I've also got a couple other things. I got some big boas. I got a nice jungle carpet, a tegu. I have a myriad of tarantulas, and that collection just keeps growing by the day.
Myriad.
Yeah, like that word, right? I think that's probably about it. I'd say overall, to say I have over 40 animals, different animals, I'd say is a safe bet.
Very nice. And I'm glad to see that you have those really nice vision cages in the background.
Thank you.
Those are definitely very nice. So what about you?
I also forgot, I have some Amazons. I'm sorry, I've got some Amazons. I can't leave those out. Right?
The Amazon tree boas or the Amazon, the emerald?
Both.
I've got a brain fart tonight.
I've got a couple Amazon tree boas, and I've got one emerald on loan right now.
Those are scary, Andy.
They are. Woo.
I would like to try my hand at those once I finish school and I'm able to get another facility and whatnot. So, what about you, Danny? What do you keep in your collection?
Cool stuff, mostly. No, I'm a little more refined than Andy. I keep mostly tree boas and some rat snakes and tarantulas and a fine woman. That's about it.
So any specific species in your collection that you like to work with the most?
I like Corrales tree boas. They're cool.
Very nice. So, off the top of your head, what's your favorite fish or herp species? Andrew.
Fish or herp?
Or both.
Well, no offense, I'm not much of a fish guy. I haven't had great luck with fish. But if I had to choose one type of fish that I prefer the most, I would definitely say an arowana. They're just so cool to look at. Shut up. I think as far as herps go, American alligator has to be my tops, man. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
You can't make the distinction between arowana and marijuana.
No, not even. It's just something. Never mind.
Yeah. We'll have a discussion after this. Believe me.
Sorry, boss.
Oh, it's on Skype, is it? Could I just stay on and eat some popcorn and see what the back and forth is going to be?
Andy just yells at me, and I just sit quietly and take it.
Yeah, like a good submissive.
It's not my nature to fight back.
So, are either one of you working on any type of propagation projects in your collection, or you just keep?
Me personally, not right now. I'm a big fan of the keeping. I think there are, my personal opinion is there are a lot of people that are working on propagation projects, and there are a lot of animals out there that are just, I hate to say it, going to waste. So I'm just kind of in the market right now for just keeping and mainly using a lot of the animals that I have for education. Eventually I will, do some propagation probably with my rat snakes. Excuse me. But a lot of my animals are used mainly for education.
Okay. So, what about you, Danny?
I breed tree boas.
Yeah?
Yeah, on occasion.
On occasion?
On occasion.
Are they
whenever.
Hard for you to breed, or do you get a pretty good rate every year?
I do it right with them. I mean, I don't really breed them every year, so I like to let them chill out and be pets over breeders these days, I'm not into, reproducing my animals and selling them or anything like that. At this stage in my life, I just kind of like to keep my animals for my own enjoyment and occasionally reproduce them when, there's some fun trade or something I want to work with. But I think I've paid my dues in that field already over the last couple of years. So I'm just kind of sitting back and enjoying my animals day to day right now.
Very cool. So, Brendan Paul Miller, he's our main fish guy, and he got up with me today.
Wait, I want to talk about my fish, my favorite fish.
Oh, well, I want to hear it. I didn't realize you were keeping fish. Go for it, man.
Yeah, man, I like mud skippers a lot.
Nice.
And I've had them for years. I've always had one, and it'll last me for a couple of years, and then, unfortunately died. But I've had a couple, and they're very personable. They're my favorites. And right now, I keep pencil fish. Ooh, look at that, fish geeks.
Cool.
Ah.
Those are cool.
The Beastmaster pencil fish. You didn't know this. I'm just diversified in ways you had no idea. So yeah, I keep two types, the diptails and McGregor's.
Cool, I think our fish folks would really like to know about that.
They're awesome, like me.
Huh.
Yes, Danny keeps only awesome animals.
Only awesomeness. I surround myself with awesomeness, and that's how I exude it to others.
There you go, as long as you're giving back, man.
See, look, I'm exuding it right now. Oh, it's hot in these hoodies.
Yeah, I don't understand why you're wrapped up indoors, bro.
This is because
it's cold in New Jersey right now.
Yeah,
What
man.
is it? I mean,
Yeah.
right now, dude, I'm running around in a t-shirt and shorts and, Swamp Ape's going
Well,
outside, no shoes on.
we can't all be swamp apes. Some of us are boreal forest apes.
Yeah, we like the mountain ranges sometimes.
Deciduous forest apes.
There you go.
Hairless
So-
deciduous forest apes.
Yeah. So, Brendan Paul Miller, he's our main fish guy. He's actually the guy that came up with the whole Lost concept and that brought me on as the reptile guy. He had a couple things he wanted me to ask for him this evening,
Cool.
of you guys.
Absolutely.
One of them being mainly for new keepers. Say you have somebody who doesn't have any background whatsoever in reptiles approach you, and they're just looking for information on the right species to start with. What would you guys suggest to the new keeper? What would be a great species to start with as far as easy care, easy feeding, anything like that, in your opinion, with the experience you both collect?
Well, I guess, my first thing would be, what are you really looking to get out of keeping the animal? Do you just want to keep it just to keep it? Do you want to learn about its morphology? Do you want to learn about its ecology? Are you going to have a hard time feeding it, a live mouse or a dead mouse? Or are you going to have a hard time feeding it an anole or, fish or an egg? Those are the kind of questions that I would ask. Are you expected, are you ready to take on a minimum of a 10 to 15 year commitment for some of these animals? Are you willing to put in the time and the effort for, even your basic corn snake or a bearded dragon or leopard gecko? You're still going to have to devote a fair amount of time for them just to make sure that initially everything is set up properly. Once you have everything set up, okay, we can relax a little bit, but it's that initial setup, not only just in monetary, but also in, your own time and your own patience.
What's your thought on that, Danny?
I guess it really depends on what it is you're looking for. If it's somebody who's a beginner in snakes and lizards, amphibians, there's obviously different answers for whatever it is you're looking for. Obviously, I hate to say this, but cost shouldn't be an issue. I hate to always hear somebody's excuse that, they don't have the right setup for something because they can't afford it. Well, then they shouldn't be getting that animal in the first place. So I guess to reiterate what Andy said, I think it's first and foremost, I need to know that you've got what it takes to keep that animal and you're willing to make the life commitment for that animal. If you can do that, then that opens up really, a myriad of different species according to what it is you can handle. I mean, for the most part, it's always good for somebody to start with something a little more close to home, a little more used to conditions around where you live, as opposed to, something very exotic, needing a very specific habitat that's unlike what you have or what you can provide. So, it really depends. It really depends on, the individual animals they're seeking for, and of course the ability of the person to keep what it is they want or what it is, they think they can within their means.
Yeah. And let me just say this. Growing up where we are and working at the facilities that we've worked at, we've had a good number of people come in and ask us about iguanas. Iguanas make horrible pets for a beginner or even an intermediate keeper. We have a good number of pet shops in our local area that sell juvenile green iguanas. And people think they're cute because they're small, they're bright green. They don't know that in 5 years' time, that iguana, if it's a male, is going to start to develop. He's going to get nice big jowls. He's going to get nice bright coloration. He's also going to get a nice thick tail. And he's going to get an attitude to match that.